Hi, Delisa. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
Hey Jesse, I am great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so happy to have you here. We were talking a little bit before we pressed record that I am just such a I love marshmallows. I've loved marshmallows like my whole life. I think you use the term marshmallow connoisseur, which I think I'm going to put on my resume now. That's going to be like my new title. But like some of my earliest memories are like eating bowls of marshmallows. And then I learned eventually like how to make some at home. And so I love marshmallow cream, marshmallow fluff. And so I was so excited to try Funky Mellow because I'm always looking for like a plant-based gluten-free option. And I was blown away when I sampled the product. Like the first like spoonful, I was like, the texture is perfect. Like it's the best marshmallow cream I've had, hands down, in my life. And so I was like, this is incredible. And then the cookies and cream, oh, oh my gosh. I don't know how it's not a single serving size just to eat the whole thing because it's so good. But I didn't eat it all because I'm like, now I want to experiment with like different things and like hot cocoa. And so I've got like a whole plan of all the ways I'm going to keep experimenting. But I just had to share that I love the product so much. I'm so glad that you won the Shelfie Award for Startup CPG this year. Just so well deserved. And I can't wait to like I'm hesitant to share it with people that come to my house, but like I will because I want them to know. Like I want them to
They have to know.
become
That's right.
Funky Mellow like fans. So, I'll make that sacrifice for them.
You know, and your mindset is usually it's so normal to feel that way. So don't feel like you're like
Okay.
like being just super, I don't know, like you're trying to hold on to everything. It's fine. It's the same thing that happens because and it's same with me too. When we first discovered our product and tasting it and making the different flavors, I was like, I don't know if I want to share it, but
Right?
that is a product that you want to share with the world because that means that it's just that good. And if it makes you
Mhm.
happy and brings all that nostalgia back, but like in a different way, it's the best
Yes.
thing ever. So we're so happy. And it makes me really happy to hear you going through the cycles of
I
discovery.
love it. I love it. Well, can you tell us a little bit about the founding story behind Funky Mellow?
Absolutely. So I founded Funky Mello with my husband, Zach. Uh, I'd say we started back in like 2018. We actually started selling Rice Krispie treats at farmers markets when we lived in Houston. And the whole idea came about because Zach and I have a ton of dietary restrictions. We are vegan, gluten free, food allergies. It's really hard to go out and enjoy a good meal and dessert when you just have so many restrictions. You're tired of like a fruit bowl or like sorbet. Like you want to have the cake that's down the hallway. So we were inspired by a crispy treat, actually. There was one restaurant in particular where there was a plain crispy treat. It was tasty, but it was so boring. So I was like, there has to be something better that we can create. And so we ended up creating really funky flavored crispy treats. We had like strawberry champagne and Saturday morning, which was made with like Fruity Pebbles like cereal,
Ooh.
stuff like that. And people loved it at the markets. So we wanted to share it with a wider audience and also like ship, be in stores, because we had really good traction locally. So we realized that the crispy treats they would get stale after a few days, so they weren't shelf stable. We had to pivot to like, why not make our own marshmallows? Turns out though that marshmallows are also really hard to make shelf stable without like the really large expensive equipment. So we've always been interested in making a marshmallow fluff, and we ended up dabbling and finding a great recipe for us to kind of tweak and make our own. And that's what we did. So this fluff was introduced last October. And ever since then, it's kind of been a whirlwind. It's been in, like we're in like 200 or so stores for Sprouts alone for the holidays. We're in all the local Austin Whole Food stores. We're in different like vegan boutique grocery stores as well around the nation, and I think we're dabbling a little bit in Canada. So it's been amazing ever since we launched this cream.
That's so awesome. I love hearing that. And yeah, I hadn't thought about the like Rice Krispie connection there because that's like my other favorite dessert, which maybe is not surprising as I shared my love of marshmallows. So yeah, I made Rice Krispies like 2 days ago. So
Yeah.
um yeah, that's so cool. And
Thank you.
wow. So can you share a little bit about like I think the Sprouts is like launching in select Sprouts is pretty recent. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually just launched in, like, I'd say the end of last month, early this month, across like, it was originally supposed to be like just over 200, but I think we're now reaching like around 250, which is a good sign because that means more and more stores are hearing about it and they're interested in bringing it into their store. So yeah, I mean, it's literally, you can go on our store locator on funkymello.com because I think I finally just added all the stores that we're in. But it's, mainly in California, but it's like it's definitely coast to coast. Uh, we are the vanilla flavored marshmallow cream that is in the refrigerated dairy section, even though there's no dairy because it's fully plant based. But that is the section that we're in by like the yogurts and the cookie doughs and the whipped toppings. And it's, yeah, it's we're very very excited to be there throughout the end of the year and maybe even after.
Yeah, amazing. And at some point you did a Kickstarter campaign as well, I believe, right?
We did. Ah, the old days. Yes. So we actually started, I think it was right before we launched the cranes. It was like that summer before. We were doing a Kickstarter campaign to help us get a 40 quart mixer for our marshmallow cream because I think before then we were just making the transition as well from like being a home business to an actual business, and we had to scale up. So we can no longer do like a small KitchenAid mixer or even the 20 quart mixer that we had. We needed to go bigger and get the 40 quart, which we have now. Her name is Gizmo, and she sits in the corner of our kitchen. She works harder than all of us, so it's that's kind of like that's the key to us making the delicious cream. But yeah, we couldn't have done it without the help of like 300 or so really kind people giving towards that Kickstarter. So thank you all.
That's amazing. So you're still making the product Gizmos still helping create every product that we are trying.
That's right. Everything is handmade by at least one of us on the team. There's only three of us right now. So, yes, we put all of our love into the product that you see on shelves or delivered to your door.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And at what point did you find Startup CPG? How did you find Startup CPG?
So it was fun. I think we actually ran into you guys several times in the course of like the last couple of years. But what stuck home for me was when I went to a local event and you guys had like vendors at tables. And so I took time to talk to all of them. I think I eventually talked to a few of the program leaders as well. And that's when they're like, we have a Slack channel, we have all these resources. Like, come on board and it's free to join, and you guys genuinely wanted to help brands do what they do, so we really appreciated that, and so we were able to plug in that way. So yeah, we found you guys by accident, but it was like the greatest find.
That's so cool. And I love that you were able to join like an in-person event as well. Like I love the Slack channel and I've attended in-person events like at expos, and there's something magical about all getting together in person too. So I'm so glad you've been able to do that.
Yeah, I think it was right after like the COVID bans were like lifted and people were like, yeah, let's do events again. So yeah, it was good timing.
Mhm. Nice. And then am I right that you are currently in the middle of fundraising as well? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So we actually just finished putting our pitch deck together. So it is exciting. And I think every business kind of reaches that time where it's like, okay, we have a lot of traction. People like the product. Things are moving off the shelf. We're getting great reviews. But to get to that next step, we realize it's super expensive. The equipment to scale is expensive. The facility to grow in is expensive. Um, to hire a team is expensive. So for us to reach that next step, we realized that we do have to raise funds. And all of that is definitely going to go towards all the things that I just talked about, the facility, growing a team, being able to manage larger size orders. And now we have a distributor being able to distribute across the nation and then even internationally, um, and having a team to do so. So yeah, we're kind of hitting that next level, and it's like the scariest but the most exciting time because we wouldn't make this decision if it wasn't something that we felt was right for us and that we weren't already on a good path. So um, it's it's exciting.
Yeah. I'm also like, I love the branding and like, I love your website. Like, can you share a little bit about any like story or like history of like the branding developing? Cause it, like, I mean, I would expect it to be funky, like but like still, it's, I don't know, it's so cool. Like, I love going to your website. So I would just love to hear a little more about that.
And is it because you happen to hear music jamming whenever you go to our website?
Yes, that's amazing too. Yes.
Amazing. Yeah, that's great. So actually, and I'm so glad. Thank you for that compliment. And that's actually why we went this direction with the brand, looking in aisles, at different food, wherever, things were just a little bland. We realized that you just needed something to kind of spice things up, especially after we've been indoors for too long, with COVID. So we were all about wanting to bring happiness to people, and like food is the best way to do that. And even before you eat our product, you see it on the shelf, you see us on social media, you see the website. But the inspiration behind that was really because 6 months into dating, my husband and I started this business. So this is really a part of us. And we actually met through a music festival. So this brand is like a party, because you feel happy, you see the colors, you see music. It reminds us of how we felt when we met at a music festival. And so that is kind of how we wanted to give the experience back to people, through the colors and everything that you see that we do.
I love it. That's so cool. And what should we be watching out for like in the next, in 2023, like what's top of mind for you? Yeah, what should we be following along for new updates of?
Yeah. So we are in the middle of quite a few things for 2023. Well, specifically, I guess on a small level, we are rolling out new flavors. So, like on our website, you will see that we have like a pumpkin spice, which, oh, by the way, if we didn't already say, in stores, you will see our classic flavors of vanilla, cookies and cream, and strawberry. You can also order those on our website, but you'll have to, of course, pay for shipping. So, people would rather go to a store, which is totally fine. Um, Outside of that, we have seasonal flavors that pop in and out. So it's great to kind of just keep up with what we're doing on the website and social media. Even bigger than that, we're starting to really get plugged into the right food service communities so that we can have Funky Mellow be a part of a coffee offering or fruit or breakfast or even ice cream. So being able to be a part of that and continue to show people how to use our cream, and they can also kind of sample it by going to food service and then buy it later. Just creating that like whole customer loop in a way, a journey about our cream and how to use it. We're also going to launch into some bigger food brands pretty soon. I don't think I can name the name yet because the deal's not closed, but I'm sure all of you will recognize the names when they come out. So yeah, it's we're always cranking back here.
Awesome. That's great. That's super exciting. Yeah, I'm very excited to follow along. And I think, did I see something you did some like s'more kits or something like that, or like some recipes or something? What was that about?
Yeah, so it kind of just goes alongside me just wanting to educate people about how to use the cream. So a s'more kit is actually something I have in mind to roll out next year. So that kind of falls in line with the question you asked me. It's not out yet, but I do want to create like cocoa kits or, partner with other small brands so that we can create just more of an experience around the cream, and you can try different products as well that are minority owned or just smaller businesses that you can support. So yeah, I you might have just seen me do a video around like torching our cream because it does torch just like marshmallows. We do some local events as well. So creating a s'mores bowl has been something that we are giving out there. It's literally just like our marshmallow cream with a bunch of toppings. It's like a deconstructed s'more. So we're doing that too. And the more I talk about it, I'm like, it's just like, what are you not doing? There's so many things. I forget about it. So this is helpful. Good question.
I love it. Yeah. You know, s'mores again, another favorite a favorite snack of mine. So, yeah, that sounds very exciting, and I'm excited that you're looking into, working on the food service option cuz I can, I'm already thinking I'm like how do I need this at like all my favorite ice cream shops, like if I could, like if that was an option on the menu, like I would add it to so many different things, in places I'm already out in the world on the food service side. So that's very exciting.
For
That
sure.
sounds really cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get into that too because that's kind of the whole reason why we started, like going out and being disappointed that we couldn't have certain options. So this is definitely a product that you don't have to have dietary restrictions to have it, but
Mhm.
also like everyone can come together and enjoy it. It just tastes good. And that's the whole point of everything that we're doing. We want it to taste good and we want people to connect over good food. That's not only good to you and your mind, but it's good for your body. Like you're not going to bloat or have pains or whatever or feel guilty that you ate it um, later. So yeah, that's why we call
Mhm.
ourselves the Feel Good Marshmallow Company.
Yeah. Oh, seriously. And just like the flavor that you've achieved. Sometimes when someone's trying something that's plant-based, or like I mentioned, like we're a gluten-free household, like there's this like you almost feel like you're missing out on something because it's like missing something, quote unquote. And like, most of the marshmallows that probably people have had, ingredients that aren't in this. And but like when I tasted, I was like, this has taken everything I wanted a marshmallow to take, like, and removed the little bit of artificialness that maybe was there. Like there's none of that. You just kept the essence, the perfectness of a marshmallow. And so I'm just, yeah, I'm so impressed and so excited to see more people find that in the world and be like, oh, like marshmallows have leveled up. They've achieved
Like,
their,
oh my God. Yes, that's what we've done.
yeah.
Amazing. I love
So yeah, I'm so excited. So yeah, I encourage everyone to go to funkymello.com. That's Mello. And then you can go to funky_mellow on Instagram. So make sure to follow the Funky Mellow team. And I'm so excited to follow along and continue to stock, my new favorite marshmallow cream at my house. And yeah, we're all cheering for you at Startup CPG. So just so glad you could join me today and share a little bit about the story, a little bit, sneak behind the scenes. This has been so fun. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this was really fun. And I look forward to being plugged into more startup CPG activities in the future. So can't thank you guys enough.